today on the CTV News at 5. Lethbridge's lucky streak continues with another big lotto win. Plus,
she's just like, what do you do for fun? And I kind of play video games. And she's just like, oh, well, we didn't really have much video games back then. So I kind of laughed and she laughed.
how lunch is bringing seniors and students together. And the hurricane snap a 6-game losing skid.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon, and if you're joining us on satellite, welcome. Lady Luck has made yet another visit to Lethbridge. For the third time in 10 days, there has been another big lottery win. 8 employees from the city of Lethbridge have won $100,000 on the Lotto Max Extra. The ticket was from the December 2nd draw. The 8 winners work at the city's Employment Resource Center. Each member of the group will take home around $12,500. The 8 winners include Carla Elfring, Rosie Gregory, Wanda Harsh, Marcy Malinowski, Chris Ingold, Lori Wagstaff, Murray Owaka, and Carla Koyata. The winning ticket was purchased in Lethbridge at the Fast Gas on Stafford Drive North. Their reaction to the news?
They were just shocked and couldn't believe it, and they didn't believe me. Can imagine them not believing me. And yeah, just it was very exciting. It was a fabulous day, and there was certainly a hoop and a holler from our meeting room, that's for sure.
Now, this comes after a couple claimed a $100,000 extra prize last week, and just a few days before that, of course, another husband and wife from Lethbridge took home a $45.6 million Lotto 649 jackpot. And speaking of money, Premier Alison Redford is smack in the middle of a $10 billion controversy over allegations that she picked her ex-husband's law firm to handle a lawsuit against Big Tobacco.
I'll tell you, Mr. Speaker, that if this honourable member decides to make a complaint, go ahead.
Redford has been fuming about the allegations, lashing out at the opposition in the legislature. But the NDP and Wild Rose say that Redford lied yesterday when she said she had no part in picking her ex-husband's law firm to handle the $10 billion tobacco lawsuit. Redford admits that she wrote a memo as Justice Minister suggesting her ex's law firm be the high-profile suit, be the chosen one, but she insists she didn't make the final decision. Opposition parties are now calling for Redford to step down in what they say is a conflict of interest. The Premier was set to respond to the controversy at a conference this afternoon, but it was abruptly cancelled with just 15 minutes' notice. Lovely and talented Dory Rossiter is here. And Dory, we've been talking that averages for this time of year around 1 degree, and we're going to be beating that most days for the next little while.
Yeah, and you know, when you look out your window right now and you see all this kind of icy haze that we've got going on there, a little bit of flurry activity was reported in parts of southern Alberta, and chilly temperatures today. It's hard to believe that, you know, we're going to be in the next several days above average temperatures, but that's the way it looks like it's shaping up. And we were hoping to see some of those positive numbers today, but it's been delayed. Should be on the way tomorrow. I'll have all the details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Dory. Well, a new unsettling discovery about XL Foods in Brooks. CTV News has learned federal inspectors were told to ignore some cases of contaminated carcasses over a period of about 4 years. Ottawa Bureau Chief Robert Fife has the details.
Once again, the Harper government is under fire for food safety. In trouble over a 4-year-old memo to federal food inspectors who were ordered to ignore contamination on cattle carcasses unless they were destined to Japan. Corrective action was only taken 2 weeks ago.
How can the Prime Minister say that everything is perfectly okay when in fact the memo was changed? It was changed because there's a problem, Mr. Speaker.
The meat sold in Canada is just as safe as meat exported to other countries. There are strict food safety standards in this country. That is the law.
A comments committee also wanted answers. The memo instructed inspectors to ensure all fecal, intestinal, and spinal chordal material is removed from all beef sent to Japan, but not on meat for Canadians. The agency issued a new memo 2 weeks ago, ordering inspectors to halt the line and remove this splatter from all carcasses.
We should be calling in the RCMP to investigate what may amount to criminal negligence.
We're now talking about fecal material. Please don't have me say the other word that begins with S. We're talking about that on a carcass, sir.
The Embattled Food Inspection Agency insists fecal contamination is detected later on in the process.
The critical control points for dealing with those contaminants were after that inspection station.
After that station, there is no further CFIA inspection. A plant employee might see it, but there is no further CFIA inspection after that station.
Conservative MPs accuse the opposition of hurting the beef industry.
But they have to be careful, Chair, not to undermine the industry, not to undermine the processors.
The opposition parties are calling for an independent audit of Canada's food safety system. The government refuses to do so. Robert Fife, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, the executive director of Friends of Medicare says there are still a lot more questions than answers when it comes to health care in the South Zone. Sandra Azokar spoke to members at the Friends of Medicare annual general meeting last night at the LSCO. She says the Redford government is slowly trying to dismantle universal health care in Alberta. Azokar points to the closure of the Carmangay Continuing Care Centre as a prime example of a continued move towards full privatization of services, despite plans to expand on major hospitals in centres.
You know, it's great that we build facilities, but if we don't have staff to provide the services, what's the use of us having them? And so where they're going to get the money to run those facilities is a question. Where they're going to get the staff to run those facilities is a question. You know, we don't need any more hospitals that sit empty.
The Tories maintain they aren't trying to privatize healthcare, but rather deliver the best possible services to Alberta residents. And Chinook Regional Hospital officials are showing off their plans again for their $128 million expansion. The community information session was held last night inside the county room. Floor plans and renderings of the 5-story, 19,500-meter wing were on display. The main emphasis of the expansion is about increasing ambulatory services and efficient use of space. Officials say the project is on time and on budget. Hospital staff say it's important for them to let the public know what changes are coming.
I think the community overall is very excited about this. This really helps us to be able to recruit more physicians, to maintain the staff that we have, and to provide good service to our community. So the feedback we've been getting is very positive.
The redeveloped Chinook Regional Hospital will open in the summer of 2015. And the Alberta government is still reviewing a petition that calls for the province to intervene in decisions being made by the Crow's Nest Pass Municipal Council. More than 2,500 people signed a petition organized by the Pass Ratepayers Association. It was sparked by the resignation of volunteer firefighters and dissatisfaction with taxes, fees, and budget decisions. A delegation from the ratepayers delivered the petition to Edmonton on November the 1st. The Municipal Affairs Department has 30 days to report back to the minister on whether the petition meets all the criteria. A municipal affairs spokesperson tells CTV if the petition is sufficient, the province will look at the whole operation of the municipality, including the bylaws and core operations. The department says the process, though, can often take several months. Well, they may be generations apart, but a group of seniors and children in Lethbridge have created a very special bond. It centers around a school lunch program supported by residents and staff in 3 senior housing facilities. As Terry Vogt discovered, the lunch program has not only been successful, it has led to some unexpected connections between seniors and the children.
It's straight now.
These seniors may be having fun, but behind the smiles and laughter is a serious cause. 4 mornings a week, seniors at 3 of the Covenant Health facilities in Lethbridge get together to make sandwiches and pack bag lunches for elementary school children.
Oh, because there's so many kids that go hungry and they need something to eat. It's the main thing, I think. It's good to do, too. You all have a little visit and make sandwiches at the same time.
And what's really significant about it for our residents is that they have meaning and purpose. So they get up in the morning and after they have breakfast, they know that it's their day to make sandwiches.
I think it's really helped our kids see that the community cares about them because they know the seniors pack the lunches.
Across the city at Westminster Elementary School, the sandwiches, fruit, yogurt, and granola bars are unpacked, used to supplement the lunches and teach the children about the importance of receiving good nutrition.
Before we had Covenant Health, we were just trying to do this on our own, mostly from breakfast program items. So having real sandwiches that are fresh, having fresh fruit every day it's a godsend. It's wonderful for us.
And the lunch program has led to spin-offs, including an upcoming Christmas concert and a reading program, which has resulted in some unexpected connections between the seniors and the school children.
She's just like, what do you do for fun? And I kind of play video games. And she's just like, oh, well, we didn't really have much video games back then. So I kind of laughed and she laughed.
This program is unfunded, so they rely on partnerships to help buy the supplies in order to make all the sandwiches and other food that they give to the kids. The donations come from several community businesses, as well as staff and some of the residents at the senior facilities. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
3 elementary schools now benefit from the program, which provides them with enough sandwiches and fruit to supplement lunches 4 days a week. And the market's now 4th day in a row. West Texas closed on a down note. TSX, though, rebounded today.